Hey, I'm feeling a lot better a couple days afterwards, but I just want to take like a minute, and I don't know how long this video is going to go, to be honest with you, but just kind of give my 2 cents on what happened at the marathon the other day. I've heard this before, and I agree with it, and it's something that a lot of you might say there's no way, or that's bullshit, or whatever, but this past couple days kind of reflects perfectly to it. But basically, the events of your life are meaningless. It's the meaning that you attach to them that is everything. And it's very hard sometimes to attach an empowering meaning or emotion to some terrible event. I think it's probably always possible. It's not always easy, and it's probably always worth it for you to do that. But sometimes it's hard to put a good meaning with a shitty event. One thing I don't like is how much the news just keeps showing the explosions over and over, or like all the victims of it. And because I think that just kind of trains us to just search for the bad. And I understand they got to cover the story, but it's like I went into a bar the other day and it was on 10 televisions and it was just over and over and over, and it was just kind of like hypnotizing you to this shitty event. But I got to say this, and I was there. It was bad. It was really bad, and the meanings that I'm attaching to it, I'm trying to put very empowering ones with it. Like, for when I went back out after that bomb, I had no idea what I was going to see, and to be honest with you, before I took like a step outside of the bar that I was at to go, look to see if I could do anything, I was like, I might see some bad stuff. And I will say this, there was some bad stuff, and it was worse than what I was thinking it was going to be. I don't want to go into graphic detail because that's what it seems like all the news stories are doing. It just, oh, look at how shitty this awful event is, and look how injured this person was. And they were injured. It was very serious. It wasn't, a sprained ankle or I have a cut on my forearm. I mean, there were serious injuries. But here's the thing that I'm focusing on, and it was incredible. There were so many people that were hurt, and I had a hard time finding anybody to help out because there were so many people helping. It seemed like each victim had 2 or 3 people on them, and like I was blown away by that. Or like when I was getting ready to leave the bar that I was at, I looked over and I saw my friend Jillian, and she's like hiding under her bar. And I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, come on, we gotta get out. And she's like, I'm not leaving. And I'm like, you're crazy, we gotta go. And she's like, I'm not leaving, Heather's out there. And she wouldn't leave because her friend was out front. And I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And I went back out to see if I could find Heather, and I couldn't find her. And then I get out there, and the dude that I kind of like just saw, he was in bad shape, and I don't want to elaborate on his injuries, but they were serious injuries, okay? And they're trying to get this guy to leave, and he refuses to leave because he was with his son. And we eventually got him the information, your son's been taken away, he's okay, and like the guy agreed to leave. But he was very injured in the middle of a bomb situation, refusing to leave. Like, and he does that out of love. Just like my friend wasn't going to leave that bar, without knowing what was going on with her friend. And I think she forcibly had to be taken out of there. But I've heard this before, and I think it just relates to this. It's a beautiful thing. It's weird to hear, but love is the human's competitive advantage. Like, we don't have razor sharp teeth or bare claws that are here to protect us. I mean, once you're put on this earth, your parents protect you for like the first 18 years if you're lucky enough to have parents that do that. But I'm just focusing on how much people were helping each other. One of the people that I was with, who was just great in helping people, was my friend Julie. And like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it wasn't a fun situation, and I didn't like being there. But as I'm there and I'm trying to just do whatever I can, I'm watching like her, like it was like it didn't even happen. Like, she just snapped into place, and it was like I'm handling this. And she was just running around like, here, take this dice, and we're going to do that. And like, she was unfazed, and it was great. But here's the thing. She worked at the bar that it was at, and I didn't think about this until later in that day. I didn't have fun while I was there, okay? I didn't like the fact that I had to, deal with all that stuff. But then I thought about it. She had to deal with all that stuff knowing that 5 of her coworkers and friends could very well be dead. And then she started like questioning, oh my God, this guy was working the door. He must have been right there. And I'm like, oh my God. Not only, was she helping out all, when this thing happened, but she's doing it while worrying about 5 people that she works with that could very well be dead. It turns out I think everybody that she was friends with came out okay. Like no one was like killed or anything like that. The other thing is, like, while I was out there, it just gave me a greater appreciation for our troops, because our troops deal with stuff like that every day. There are people that kind of see what happened in Boston and third world countries or wherever, and that kind of thing happens all the time. And I took 2 more things away from that. One, we're fortunate enough to live in America, where these type of things don't happen all the time, okay? It's great that this is such a rare event. I mean, I wish it never happened, but there are countries that this happens in all the time, so be grateful that you live in America. And I just thought, as I was just kind of taking a look around at, these things, our armed forces deal with this kind of stuff on a pretty consistent basis. And I'm like, I've always had an appreciation for the troops. I always have. But look, when I looked at it, I was like, there's some stuff I just can't tell you how we should be grateful to them, or like sometimes words just won't get that point across. So I took away a greater appreciation for our troops. The other thing, and I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit weird, I'm a little bit screwed up on this, but I guess it was an attack on America. There's no way that you can't say it wasn't, but I just viewed it as an attack on humans. I mean, and that's the fucked up thing, okay? Ultimately, there was some person or group of people or whatever it was that did this to other people. To people that had nothing to do with anything. And for what agenda or what bullshit or what fucking reason? I don't know, okay? So don't try to make sense of it, because you're not going to make sense of it. But just focus on an empowering meaning in this. My friend Heather, she's supposedly doing a lot better, and I'm happy to hear that she was in such great spirits. I was talking to some people last night, like, man, she's doing well, she's laughing, she's making jokes, and I just think that's incredible. And here's somebody that's going through a very difficult situation, and she's like thriving, and that's an example. And I not to say that there won't be bumps in the road of her recovery or whatever, but she's going through this incredibly tough time, and she's still laughing. I mean, that's just a great thing. But ultimately, I can't. When you go to Facebook, I know you just want to have that rage, or you go on Twitter and you want to just say some mean shit about how bad this is, and I get it, I really do. But don't focus on the hate. It's wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. And if you just sit there and you just talk about, I'm going to fucking do this to the guy that did this and all that, you're just going to work yourself up even worse. Just try and find an empowering meaning out of all this. And I know it sounds crazy, but again, it's not the events of your life that mean something. It's the meaning that you attach to them that's everything. So I don't know, but we're going to get through this. I was in Boston yesterday, and I couldn't believe it how much it had, seemed to go back to normal. So that's it, and thank you for your time.